Hello and welcome to CKE 10,000 Gaming Channel. In this video we'll be looking at my Weiss Schwarz English deck profile for my Nisekoi Weiss weapon / Heiress deck. So the deck, we have 14 zeros, 16 level 1s, 4 level 2s, 8 climax cards, and 8 level 3s. So to start off the profile, we'll be looking is Surprising Side Chitoge. So let me focus in on that a bit. There. So it's your level 0 runner and reverser. The first effect is when this card becomes reverse, if the opponent is level 0, you may reverse that character as well. And the second effect is at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this card to the open middle position of your center stage. So it's a conditional runner with a level 0 reverser effect. 3 copies. 1 copy of Chitoge and Yukata. If the number of your other characters is 1 or less, this card gets 1k, so it's 0 3500 with Hand Encore. Then we have our beater, level 0 beater card. Great Disguise Seishiro. If the number of cards in your stock is 2 or less, this gets 1500 power, so it's a 004k if you have 2 or less stock. Then we have the Brainstormer of the deck, Paula McCoy. Pay 1, rest 2. Reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck and put them in your waiting room. For each climax revealed, search your deck for 1 weapon or Heiress character. Then we have 3 copies of New Life Seishiro, so the foiled art and the non-foiled art. Its effects are all your characters in front of this card gets 500 power. Second effect is activate, pay 1, rest this card. Choose a green card in your clock, return it to your hand, choose a card in your hand and put it in your clock. So it's actually pretty techy and useful for when you need to get like a green card in your, into your clock if you don't have one at level 1, because you're playing this deck primarily at 2 colors, green, yellow, and there are some red cards that we'll be looking at later. Then for our level 1s, we're running 2 copies of Transfer Student Seishiro. All of your other characters get 500 power, and second effect is activate, pay 2, rest this card. Search your deck for up to 1 weapon or Heiress character, reveal it to your opponent, and shuffle your deck. So, yeah, so pay 2, rest, tutor. Then our level 1 climax combo is with a +2 soul climax card, and it's a tutor. So it's 4 copies of Girls Uniform Seishiro. This card gets 500 power for each of your other weapon or Heiress characters, and the second effect is when you attack, if you have close quarters climax in your climax area, you can pay 1 into your deck for a weapon or Heiress character. Reveal to your opponent and shuffle your deck. So you put the card in your hand and shuffle your deck, 4 copies. And if you have a full board, it's 106k because of the first effect, and hits with 2 soul. So it's relatively powerful, hits a lot of soul, and gets you card advantage. So it's pretty very useful card for this deck. Then we have 2 copies of Unrivaled Beauty Chitoge. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room, then choose a card in your hand and put it into your waiting room. Second effect is when this card attacks, choose one of your other level 2 or higher characters, and that character gets 1k power. So I primarily use this card for the first effect, for really filtering your hand and cards. So this is a 1/1 6k crack Hitman Seishiro. When this card attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a weapon or Heiress character, it gets 2k power until end of turn. And the second effect is hand encore. You pitch a character from your hand into your waiting room. You can additional encore effect essentially. And we have our 1/0 2K backup. When you use this card's backup effect, if you have a weapon or Heiress character, which is everybody in this deck, you can choose one of your characters in battle and it gets another 1K. So it's 1/0 2K backup. From here on, Seishiro. And then the final level 1 we're running is kind of just filler. Beehive's White Fang Paula. This card gets 500 power for each of your other weapon or Heiress characters, so essentially 1/0, 6,500 power. And then we have 2 copies of Great Style Chitoge. All of your level 3 or higher characters in front of this card gets 2K power. And the second effect is auto. This ability activates once per turn. When you unactivate, choose one of your characters and that character gets 500 power until end of turn. So you actually combo this card with the backup on your opponent's turn and you can get the second effect off, the 500. And paired up with the level 3 Chitoge wall, that's ideally your level 2 and higher board from then on, once you finish your +2 soul level 1 combo at level 1. And then the other level 2 you run is the Chitoge as a Ghost. That's a 2/1 backup. And the first effect is when you use this card's backup, you can pay 2 stock, put a character from your stage into the waiting room. If you do, choose one of your opponent's characters with a higher level than your opponent's level and put it in your opponent's waiting room. So it's a early play Punisher, and if your opponent's trying to attack a weak character you have, you can actually use this backup, kill your opponent's little early play, sack the character that was going to get reversed, and then kind of deny them of 2 things. And this is the Chitoge wall I was talking about earlier that can combo with the level 2 assists and the backup. Really, it's just have the 2/1 assists in the back, this in the front, and then the backup cards in your hand, and that's your kind of a level 2 game upward, just to wall off and try to stall. So if the number of weapons or Heiress characters you have is 4 or more, this gets -1 level while in your hand, so you can early play this card. When this and this card gets 500 power for each of your other weapon or Heiress characters as the second continuous effect. And the third effect is when this card is frontal attack, you can look at the top card of your deck and you can put it on top of your deck or into a waiting room. So when you're getting frontal attack and you have 3 of these in the front row, it's pretty defensive. Like essentially you would use the last effect. If you see a climax, you would leave it. If you don't, you would mill it. So really it's a defensive wall deck. So 4 copies of this. And then for our other level 3s are just filler to heal. First Feeling Seishiro to heal. Deep Friendship Chitoge to heal and act as kind of a pseudo finisher. And 8 climax cards. 4 Feelings for the last 10 years. And 4 of the +2 soul close quarters. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like the video, and check out EncoreDecks.com.